All right, what is going on, everybody? And once again, double check to make sure my mic isn't muted. So, welcome to tonight's match between Prairie eSports and a bunch of faces, 5 faces. I'm told it's pronounced Lenny's, so sure, let's just go with that. But we're getting all the teams filed into the lobby here. So this is going to be a placement match between these two teams. Once again, between Prairie Esports and Lenny's, apparently is how it's pronounced. You know, there have been some teams that have had a lot of fun with emoticons as their name. One of them, which I think had a match tonight, like their team name is just like this. Oops, whoa. Their team is just this shrug emoticon, and yeah, let's see if we can fix this real quick. But you know, it's really funny. Just I don't know the creativity of some of these teams. Yeah, let's see if I can tighten this thing. You know, I did get this this arm for my microphone here, but it is very prone to not hold up all that well. It's like if you nudge it, the whole thing will just fall over. It's just it's a mess. Wish it would really secure in there more neatly. But okay, so it looks like both teams are here, so I guess we are going to go ahead and get the draft all started. So I will set that up right now. So just going ahead and giving the captains the links. Don't know if the draft will be quite as exciting as the one we had earlier. Had a murky Abathur earlier. That was quite a treat. Let's see. I just gotta actually look up who was the captain. Okay. Okay, so we are almost ready to go here. Just all right, the links have been given out, and we should be good to go. Once again, this is Prairie Esports and Lenny's, I believe is the way that 5 faces emoticon is supposed to be pronounced. But Prairie Esports, they do have the first pick, first ban. So this is Sky Temple. Probably going to see a lot of global mobility characters, I was about to say, highly prioritized. So Falstad, falling into that category, banned out first. So Lenny's, they now have a okay. So they decided to ban out Li Ming. I was gonna say maybe they want to ban out Illidan. Despite his nerfs, still does seem to be a top tier hero, and he does kind of have that global presence after level 10 with the hunt. But Li Ming, no one wants to play against Li Ming, rightfully so. She is quite the pain. So Li Ming is going to be banned out. Despite her nerfs, still does an absurd amount of damage and resets on top of that. Ugh. It's quite a pain. But once again, KT is picked up first. So far, Prairie Esports is drafting exactly the same way as the match I had earlier. They banned out Falstad first and then picked KT, so maybe we're going to see a Tassadar Abathur Murky. Doubt it, but or Tabither Tassadar Abathur Murky Dihaka, but anyway, it is going to be Brightwing first picked by Lenny's. Maybe a little bit early of a pick, but Brightwing is definitely very solid on this map. She is the support that has global presence. She can easily blink into a fight after soaking a lane. Can't really blink out of a fight. Well, she can, but short distances. Doesn't have the ability to return to a lane unless someone's already there. So doesn't quite have the same flexibility as someone like a Falstad. But Jaina is going to be the second pickup. Jaina, very strong pickup. So it's kind of funny. I mean, 5 picks are banned so far, and all 3 of the mages are represented. KT first picked up by Prairie with Li Ming banned out, and Jaina picked up by Lenny's. So Zagara is going to be picked up by Prairie eSports. Zagara is still a very good hero. Haven't seen as much of her recently. But still very solid, still very consistent. Very good on this map, too. Especially if you put her in the bottom lane, she can have a lot of warning that a gank is about to be coming. Especially if she sets up good creep tumors. But Murden is going to be picked up by Prairie eSports. So it's looking like we're not going to have tasks that are Abathur Murky, but oh well. But a ban is coming up for Lenny's. Could think about a support, and they do. They decide to ban out Li Ming, or Li Ming, Lieutenant Morales, which I think is solid. And ETC banned out by Prairie eSports, which I think is a very solid ban. Moshpit into Ring of Frost could be absolutely devastating. And he's one of the stronger tanks who is available. So, very solid ban. But Lenny's goes ahead and picks up the Witch Doctor, Nazebo. They have decided they hear the call, and they are going to pick him up. You know, that's a hero we've seen really rise in terms of, I don't know about the pro scene, but on Hot Slogs has absolutely been shooting up to the top, regaining his place at the top. Not sure exactly how long ago it was that Nazebo was on top, but maybe 4 months ago or so. But for a while, he was very dominant. Then he fell off, and now he's back again. Not totally sure why that is. Maybe someone in the chat has a theory. But Stitches is going to be picked up. Stitches decided he wants to play. So they could maybe be looking for a hook into Zombie Wall, hook into Polymorph, into Ravenous Spirit perhaps? Hook into Slow into Ring of Frost? Who knows? But they did have their tank choices fairly limited, but certainly think Stitches can work. But Greymane, my new favorite character, is picked up by Prairie eSports. So far, a tremendous amount of damage on the side of Prairie eSports. They have Greymane, who can put out a lot of sustained damage and then switch to burst. They have Zagara, who can put out a lot of sustained damage, and they have KT, who tons of burst, tons of AoE damage. But a support is now needed for Prairie eSports. They can maybe think about Tyrande. I mean, there's so much damage on this team now. They don't really have to think about sustained healing. They can maybe think about burst healing or burst damage, just really finishing someone off and not needing a lot in terms of healing. But they decided to go Malfurion, who is someone not really seen a lot of recently. But rounding out is going to be Artanis, so... interesting. You know, I do think it's actually a fairly solid pickup here. Especially if they go with the blinding ultimate for him. That can allow him to really damage the amount of really hurt the amount of damage that Greymane and Zagara can put out. Both of those heroes rely heavily on auto attacks, and if they're blinded, can't get any of those out. And then he can easily put if he goes with the Purifier Beam, I think it's called. He could easily put that on Zagara, force her to retreat from the fight, or put that on Malfurion. Doesn't work as great on Malfurion because he can cast his heal, which is a heal over time, and then he doesn't really need to be around the fight so much once he's cast that on someone. So, but we are just about ready to go here. Just wait on one more person to ready up, and we will be good to go. But, you know, I do like Malfurion as a healer against Lenny's. Lenny's doesn't have a lot in terms of bursts. They only have Jaina, but they have Nazebo, who's very damage over time. Same with Artanis. And Malfurion, as long as the other team doesn't have a burst, and as long as you're sturdy enough, he's a fantastic healer. But with that, we're going to get right into it. Taylor Swift is going to be on Malfurion, Blackout on Greymane, Love Letters on Zagara, Shep on Muradin, and the Captain Smash Sword on Kael'thas. And the Captain Henajahan is what I'm going to go with. It's on Brightwing. Himbob's 6873 on Artanis, Ruben on Nazebo, Master Thug on Stitches, and Timmy Rexzilla on Jaina. You know, I'm not normally starstruck, but Taylor Swift! We have Taylor Swift herself on Malfurion. Certainly not someone just ripping off the name. Certainly not. That's certainly the real Taylor Swift. Why would someone waste our time and pretend? That always seems to happen to me. Like, I have the mouse all the way to the side, and then it just starts off. Just zooming off to the right. Such sportsmanlike from Henajahan.
The temple opens in 10 seconds.
Let's see. Is that the new Innervate
5,
icon? It is.
4,
It is.
3,
Change all the icons around, so.
1.
But it's looking like
Do whatever it is.
it's looking like Prairie eSports thinking about maybe a 5-man party in the middle, but no, they're just going to take the tower uncontested. Lenny's is playing very conservatively, just everyone's staying out behind the gates at the beginning, not wanting to get picked off. We do see the hook go down by Master Thug, but only gonna hook some minions. It's looking like it's going to be Brightwing and Jaina in the top against Muradin and Greymane, where Zagara is going to have her hands full with both Artanis and Nazebo. So really putting a lot of pressure on Zagara down here. But Taylor Swift are going to come down. You know, especially in the early game, Malfurion, one of Zagara's favorite supports. Not only does he help keep her alive, but he gives her mana, and mana is something Zagara very much needs early in the game. But I think he came down, gave her a quick innervate, and goes back up. But a big hook goes down on Smash Sword. But the gravity lapse is going to go down under Tannis, and KT going to get away. Well, it's looking like control over this first temple is going to go over to Lenny's. They're definitely making a big commitment to the temple, but then again, Prairie eSports deciding, you know what, they're going to make an equal commitment, and they're going to get Artanis. He is going to fall. Master Thug in some trouble too, but the Dwarf Toss goes out a little bit too far. So instead of getting the body block, it goes a little bit too far, and Stitch is going to get away. But so far, it's looking like a lot of the shots from this first temple are going to go over to Prairie eSports. Not seeing this bottom lane soaked at all. You normally might see someone like Zagara down here, just to like to stay down there, but. It's pretty much been a 5-man commitment to both of these temples. And now we see the rotation coming in by Prairie eSports. Stormbolt goes out on Brightwing. And Jaina is going to be in a lot of trouble, but just barely going to survive. But can't say the same for Artanis. He is going to fall. But Jaina's going to Hearthback. Brightwing is in a lot of trouble. No escapes this early in the game. And Brightwing going to fall. So that is a 3-for-1 trade, or 3-for-nothing trade in terms of Prairie eSports. Jada just barely managed to get out of there with her life. But we do see Lenny's return to soaking.
Has been expended. You are stronger than I believe.
Now, Artanis may deny a little bit of soak in the bottom, but it's looking like probably not. Zagara going to get there in time. So by the time the towers take down all these minions, they're going to get the XP for that. KT and Stitches facing off in the middle lane. Not too much happening here. But it's looking like Muradin is going to go ahead and pick up this camp. The only thing I don't like about this is that it looks like no one is going to be soaking this top lane, so when these minions get over there, no one's going to be around to soak the experience, but they do have quite an experience lead, so might be okay giving that up, but it doesn't seem like there's much need to. Yeah, we don't even see Greymane or Murden going up to the top lane to soak. So they're deciding, we want to fight. They could be looking to put some pressure on the bottom lane here. Might be hoping to get this wall down, get the well down, which would really help them out in terms of sustaining at the bottom temple, which will be spawning any second here. But we just see Lenny's being fairly aggressive despite being very low. Brightwing is just barely going to get out of there. Can't say the same for Artanis. Stitches is going to fall as well. Janet in some trouble. She was on fire, but she's going to tap the well. She is going to be okay. And now the temple's up, and it's going to be firmly under the control of Prairie eSports. But Brightwing using her global mobility to come right back into the fight. But level 10 is almost reached by Prairie eSports, and wisely Lenny's choosing not to engage. They just want to soak all 3 lanes. Not engage hard in any kind of team fight. Which I think is smart, but level 10 is picked up for Prairie eSports. Looks like it is going to be Avatar, Devouring Maw, Phoenix, Go for the Throat. No ultimate picked up by Malfurion yet. And I believe that is Tranquility. I haven't played a lot of Malfurion since they changed the icons, so not totally sure. I'll double check real quick, and yeah, it's Tranquility. Blackout going to be polymorphed on Raymond, but he's going to be okay. But Artanis is going to fall again. Poor Artanis, having a rough time of it this match. But the big hook goes down on Blackout, but he's going to get away. Jaina is going to be okay. So, despite having the numbers advantage, not coming away with too much. Nazebo continuing to soak down in the bottom lane. Trying to get his team those critical level 10 talents, and there they are. So, funnily, Lenny's there, at least on the same talent tier. So, when the temples come up, which should be right about now. Ooh. KT going down. Looks like he's trying to gank Nazebo. Lands a beautiful gravity lapse into Flame Strike combo, and down goes Nazebo. Anyway, as I was saying, when the next set of temples comes up, thanks to being at the same talent tier, Lenny's will have a chance to contest them. However, by the time the temples actually come up, they might not be the same talent tier, because level 13 is awfully close to being reached by Prairie eSports. So the window of being on the same talent tier is rapidly closing. But we're going to see this top temple picked up. And we're going to see the bottom temple and the boss picked up by Prairie eSports. This is the big reason that the bottom temple is favorable to take. Anytime you have the top temple and the bottom temple come up, if you're the superior team, if you have the advantage, you definitely want to try and take the bottom temple, because it gives you the ability to think about sneaking the boss. And I think this is very smart as well. In addition to taking the boss, they're also taking the siege giants. The siege giants of Lenny's. So basically, they're both going to push at the same time. So in addition to having this boss push, you also have the siege giants pushing, which is just an absurd amount of pushing power. And in addition to that, they're also going to push with the boss. I would be surprised if a keep did go down at this point, but Artanis is unfortunately going to fall again. Ring of Frost goes down, it hits 2 people, but it's just not going to matter. Only Bright is around, so not much that can be done to capitalize on that. Nazebo fell somewhere. I'm guessing KT must have finished him, but Hook goes down on Muradin. He's not going to care. He is a fairly immortal dwarf, so he never dies. But this boss, it has half health, may do some permanent damage on the core. Maybe just a tiny bit before it goes down. Yeah, gets the core down to about 85%, but the siege giants are pushing behind it, so they're going to do even more. So wow, 10 minutes into the game, and the core has already lost a third of its life. I don't know about life, considering it's not like a living thing, but you know what I mean. But very strong push by Prairie eSports. They not only get the keep, but they do some damage on the core. They get some damage on a second keep, and they're now pulling back and grabbing some of their camps. See how long? Okay, so this has 2 minutes left. Thought they might be thinking about invading this camp, but it's not going to be up for a while. But Nazebo may be a bit out of position. Brightwing going to come in and help keep him alive. Help get him out of any danger. Well, with it being level 16 to level 14, if Prairie eSports could force a fight, I know they would love to. They have a giant advantage. If there's anything they can do to really take advantage of that advantage, I know they would love to. And I think they know that Lenny's is at the bottom temple, so I think they're going to make a strong rotation and go get them. Big root goes down by Taylor Swift, and that's going to lead to Jaina falling. Brightwing in a lot of trouble. Icebuck goes down to keep her alive for the time being, but Ruben and Brightwing are going to fall. And Master Thug in some trouble on Stitches. I think he's going to get away. The bile is going to slow down everyone chasing him, and he's going to escape. Meanwhile, still about half the temple shots are still available at the bottom temple, but they're not thinking of ending now, are they? I wouldn't think so. Brightwing and Zebo going to be up in just another second. And the core does have all of its shields back, so it'd be very difficult to do any more damage to it at this point, so I think they are wisely going to back out. I'm sure they would still love to take a fight right now. They are up a talent tier. They are up 3 levels. And it's looking like Stitches might be in some trouble. An aggressive Dwarf Toss by Shep, but unfortunately the Stormbolt does not connect. And this Bruiser Camp, this Bruiser Camp is picked up by Lenny's before Prairie eSports can think about picking it up, which I think is wise. Even if the camp doesn't get a lot done, you're still preventing your opponent from taking it. But camp going to be cleaned up very quickly. Yeah, we just saw the boss come up. Nobody going for it right now, but we also saw the Siege Giants for Prairie eSports come up as well. But it's looking like Prairie eSports, they want to fight, doing their best to chase down Artanis, but Ring of Frost goes down on 2. Malfurion rooted down, but Brightwing is going to fall. The Devouring Maw goes down on Artanis. Stitches is going to run away and use the Bile to try to get away, but fortunately it is not going to work. The Zebo is incredibly low, but he's going to escape. He's going to get all healed up. And Prairie eSports, they're thinking about core. They are focusing the core, and they might have it. They're up 3 levels. The shields are down. A big Stormbolt goes down on Artanis, and that is going to be game. That is going to be GG. So, very convincing performance by Prairie eSports. They have defeated the team of many faces. A team that is all just it's all faces. Let's quickly see if we can look at the talents. Maybe there's something interesting here. It's interesting that It's interesting that he went with this talent, which restores a mana, when you already have the mana restoring support on your team. Don't know that I totally agree with that, but it's interesting. Let's see here. Probably nothing too terribly interesting here. Yeah, so standard Brightwing build. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, not too much interesting there. But yeah, I mean, that was a very well played game by Prairie eSports. Congratulate them. It said on their profile that they seem to be all roughly 3K MMR players. Most of them did seem to be either rank 1 or pretty close. Maybe in the single digits. But oh, I'm just reading that one of the players, I believe on Prairie eSports, his Discord was down. That is something that I've heard a lot of. People having problems with Discord, especially when matches are coming up, which it's a little troubling. Considering that I just formed a team. Final boss, look for us next week, and we're looking to use Discord for our for our communication. So all the problems people have been having with Discord, a little bit concerning, but not sure why that would be. It seems like Discord usually works most of the time, but for whatever reason, when Cheer League pops up, servers seem to be having trouble. Don't know if they're just overwhelmed by the incredible presence of Cheer League. I don't know, probably not. What's up, Gamer Giving? How's it going? Good to see you here. But unfortunately, that's going to do it for us for tonight. I congratulate Prairie eSports on the victory. Would expect them to place, I don't know, Pro Division 1? Don't know. I had been saying last week I didn't really know how the placement system worked. I think I have a little bit more information on that, considering all the teams that played in placement matches last week are still in placement matches this week. I think it just placement matches just go all throughout the season, and then you're placed in a division at the end of the season. So we'll yeah, sorry to make it on time, but that's okay. I didn't tweet it out or anything. Bad job by me. But so yeah, I think teams that are in placement matches, I think that goes all the way to the end of the season, and then at the beginning of season 3, they will be graded according to how they did in the placement matches and put into a proper division. So, I believe that's how that works. Not 100% on that, but it's looking like that's how it works. So, but yeah, I mean, good luck to both teams in the future. I expect they're both good teams. I expect them to both do well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for tonight. Probably back tomorrow with some more Cheer League matches to cast. Hope they have some good teams. Hope they have some good drafts. Hope to see more Murky Abathur tomorrow or something of that nature. Hope there's some teams that are also just purely emoticons. Maybe we'll get the team that's just the shrug, which is pretty awesome that a team is named that. Pretty clever on their part. But anyway, well, that is going to do it for me for tonight. I will see you guys later. Take care. Have a good